Hello, here is again Taras Temo from Ukraine, and I'm continuing my live updates on the situation. We are all tired from the war and from the events and from recounting more of the same, but I hope these video updates help you to keep focus on Ukraine and to get some personalized sense of what is going on. You know that in my previous videos I threw a call for donations for medicine. Here is a photo of a group of soldiers to whom part of the medicine you helped to procure went. These are really guys who fight in the real front lines on the very first line of resistance against Russian aggression, and we pray and hope that the medicine you bought and we assembled in personal first aid kits will save their lives and lives of their companions. Regarding the events here, we all followed yesterday the parade in Moscow, and I'm sure it was covered in the Western media. The reason why we followed it, because there were some speculations that Putin might use this opportunity to proclaim war against Ukraine. Just let me remind you that what is going on now is undeclared war. It's not officially war, and the use of the word war is banned in Russia. You can actually go to prison if you call what's going on war. The phrase they use is specially military operation, as a complete propagandistic phrase that is coined to hide the brutal reality behind it. But there were some prognosis yesterday that, or the previous days, that Putin might use the parade and his speech to the nation as a pretext for proclaiming, as an opportunity for proclaiming the war and organizing the full mobilization of Russian population to fight in Ukraine. It didn't happen, and I think it's a good sign. Generally, Putin seemed to be very tired, very apologetic about what's going on. In his own way, obviously, he didn't recognize that he failed, but general tone of his speech was far from triumphalistic. But unfortunately, the events in Ukraine are also developing rather tragically. Just in recent days, we heard very ominous reports from some eastern towns and villages that were freed in Kharkiv region in northeast Ukraine. Our troops are advancing slowly and pushing out Russian troops from some villages and towns, and unfortunately they are left more or less in the state, as you can see here on the picture, completely destroyed after days and days of heavy fights, and with many people found again murdered, tortured, disappeared, and so on. Here is a very scary video from the vicinity of the town of Mariupol, city of Mariupol. You already know, I'm sure, where it is. It's a video of a kind of spontaneous cemetery organized near Mariupol, in which many people who fell victims to Russian shellings are buried, and you see this like huge number of crosses, and many bodies in the bags are still lying waiting to be buried. And the estimate of civilian casualties in Mariupol is something between 22 and 25,000, and still there are people, there are some local people who managed to escape from the city, who estimate the number much higher than 25,000. I will dedicate the rest of attention today to the city of Mariupol, namely to this huge steel production facility called Azov-Stal, Azov-Stal, which became like the living symbol of Ukrainian resistance to Russians, and is the dramatic story, I hope the story that will have not a tragic but dramatic end, is developing there, with something like 1,000 Ukrainian fighters from the Azov regiment, from Marines and border control troops are locked there, and extremely heavy fight is going on, since they are surrounded by Russian troops, prevailing like tenfold prevailing Russian troops in the area. This is like heavy industrial area that is shelled and bombarded 24/7, but luckily it has huge basements and tunnels, corridors under the ground, in which they can hide and can fight back also on the surface. I have seen some videos on the internet from those fights, and these are really like World War II style hand-to-hand fighting on the streets, shooting with machine guns, and almost direct physical contact battle with enemies. These fighters still keep there. They are like people of steel. Against all odds, they hold the facility, and due to huge size of this industrial area, they still manage to survive. There is a lot of negotiation going on how to extract them from there, but the whole country, and I think a huge part of the world, is closely following what's going on there. These people, the fighters, succeeded yesterday to organize a live video conference through their mobile phones to get their voice to as many people as possible. It also looked quite tragic and heartbreaking, and people responded, people in Ukraine respond with a lot of art, with a lot of attention to what's going on there. I will just show you several pieces of photography and art related to Azov-Stal. This is a picture taken by some of the fighters to draw attention to inhuman condition in which wounded fighters are found, because many of them have been wounded in the battle, in action, and they have no basic pain relievers, basic medicine to prevent deterioration of their health due to the wounds they suffered. They have to do surgeries without anesthetics, without proper anesthetics, and so on. And it's extremely dire situation, especially for people who were injured in action. Just some drawings, some pictures that send this image of unbroken military power of the people who protect Azov-Stal, and the civilians that used to be in the basement protected by the soldiers. Recently, the majority of the civilians have been evacuated, and still estimated 100 or over 100 civilians, mostly women with children and aged people, remain there. Plus, as I said, something like 1,000 fighters. Obviously, this resistance in Azov-Stal is a beginning of a very powerful myth for Ukrainian army, for undefeated strength of Ukrainian army, but we also pray and wish that the brave soldiers of Azov and other military units come out of this hellish experience alive. Someone has made this beautiful collage of pictures of defendants of Azov-Stal before in peaceful life and during the battle, and I think they speak for themselves. I would like to show you some of those contrast pictures. This is actually the leader of the Marine Corps, Marine squad that is defending Azov-Stal, Serhiy. And there is a woman, there are several women, I guess, there, but this one, she used to be a singer, a popular singer and actress, and she sings beautifully. There are some recordings again on the internet where in which she is filmed singing in the basements of Azov-Stal, just like taking rest with other soldiers and singing some patriotic songs. And this is again heartbreaking. People pray for her and her comrades to be freed, to come out of this alive, and to be possibly evacuated somehow through diplomatic channels by negotiating with Russians, which is so far has proven to be impossible, because I think for Russians it's an important victory they want to achieve. They want to destroy Azov, being the Nazi battalion, as they like to say, and we will see how this will develop, but we certainly need your prayerful support in this case. I don't think any other means of support except for prayer and for diplomatic pressure can help here. Thank you for watching, and please, if you can, share, comment this video, recommend it to other people. We need to raise awareness about what's going on in Ukraine. We are very grateful to people all over the world for continuing support, for your attention, for your pressure on your governments, for all types of support you really generously show us. But please continue that, continue raising awareness about this war, and I think with your help we will stop those atrocities and eventually defeat Russia in its aggression against Ukraine. Thank you.